Here we are in Viticulture, the winemaking game. We have the main board where we'll be placing our workers to do a bunch of different actions. It has, a bunch of different cards we could take. It has the point tracker that you get to 20 and you win. And then you get points by mainly selling wines. But there are other little ways, but the main way is selling wine. We have the bank over here. And then down here now we have our own personal player boards. So we have player 1, which is me, and player 2, which is Simon. You can only do a 2-player game, unfortunately, in our free tabletopia. So we have the mom and pop cards over here that you can start with a different one each game. And it tells you basically how you're going to start. So in this case, my mama's Nietzsche. So I'll get 2 greens and a purple. And then over here, I'll get plus 3 gold and a worker. And then over here, he's got zone 2 over here, Simon. And our personal player boards have the workers that we have available at the start. Eventually, you can get more workers to join you. And then there's things you could build here. Like, for instance, you could build a windmill eventually. Well, not necessarily build. You buy. Sorry, we don't build things here. You buy it. And, for instance, when you plant a vine, you gain 1 victory point. So if you spend 5 gold, you have a windmill. Because obviously, to get wine, you're going to need to plant a vine to get the grapes, which is over here. So let's say I planted to get this 1 grape. Now all of a sudden I have 1 victory point with this grape. And eventually you can let your grape grow to be a size 3 grape. And then you can turn the grape into wine over here. And then eventually you will sell the wine to people. So let's go back up here and look at what we can actually do on the board. So in this case, this has our turn order, not turn order, our what we can do on a turn right here on the board, a nice little scroll. So in the spring, you choose your wake up position. So that's over here on blue. So this is similar to Last Will, where the higher you go, the better your thing, but the lower you go, the higher you'll be in the turn order. So let's say I went down here. I get 1 victory point. Simon can now go anywhere up here, and he'll still be first. So whatever he thinks is best for him on that turn, so let's say he went here, whatever, he gets to draw a green card. So, what the green cards are is things you could plant. So in this case, I could plant the Pinot, let's say, on my field. So max is 5. So in this case, 1 plus 1 is 2. So I'm allowed to have 3 more value of grapes on here. If I was here, the max value is 6. I can have 4 more, etc., etc. And what this gold is here, that says 5, eventually, well, not eventually, at any time, I could sell it and get 5 gold back. And then if I want it back, I'll have to buy it back. So in case I'm desperate for money, I can get rid of one of my fields. So I'll have less grapes to sell, but I'll have more money to do other things with money, like buying a windmill, for instance. So that's what the greens are. Anytime you need to get something to plant, like here's a good example. This is the 4. So over here, right now I cannot place this 4 on here because 4 plus 2 is 6, and that's higher than 5. But if I have this planted over here, I can. Also, things to note is if you see on this one, the Pinot, it's got this symbol, which is something, the trellis. I cannot plant this unless I buy this trellis for $2. So I would need to spend $2 and get the trellis, and then I would keep this here to know that I have it. And this one also has an irrigation. I think somewhere, I'm sure it'll say what that is. Irrigation. Here, yeah, irrigation. So you spend $3, you get irrigation. So I would need to have both of those to get the Chardonnay of 4. Then we have some yellow cards over here, which are they like little bonuses, let's say. So if I had this card and I played it, plant 1 green card. Then if you have at least 3 different types of green cards planted on that field, gain 2 points. So if I had, obviously I wouldn't be able to do it with this 4 because that's too big, but if I had a bunch of small ones that cost 1 or 2, and I had 3 different ones planted here, I would gain 2 victory points. So this has little bonuses and things that can help you. Purple is the wine you want to make. So this wine says you want to make a 5 costs white wine. So if you come over here, you would need to have your grape eventually grow up to 5. So either you would have like that 4 that we had before. It would be a 4 grape. And then you could wait 1 turn for it to ferment, and then the next round it'll be a 5 grape. And then on that round you get to transfer the grape into your wine cellar, which, if you notice, small, medium, large. If you want to transfer this to here, you're going to need to buy a medium cellar for 4 gold. Then you come back over here, get your medium cellar, boom, and now I can have this. So, if I had that 5 gold, I could sell it and get 2 victory points and $1, or €1, whatever you want to, whatever currency you want to use. So purple cards are a bunch of different ones that you want to make for the points. So these are basically the main 2 that you have to actually need for the game to get points to make the wine. These blue ones are similar to the yellow. They just give you a bunch of different kinds of bonuses that you could try to do for maybe a point. Choose 2. Draw 1 purple card, upgrade your cellar at the regular cost, or gain 1 point. So I could choose 2. So if I played this blue card, I wouldn't need to, I didn't go over the space yet, but you would need to go on one of these spaces over here to actually build something. So instead of me having to waste a worker over here, I could use a worker to do this blue card, which will let me upgrade my cellar by paying the 4, and it'll give me a victory point. So that's 2 important things I did on 1 turn. So those are the cards. Things to plant. Bonuses, yellow and blue are the bonuses, and purple are the goals that you want to actually get to sell the wine. So the spaces are, you can build 1 structure, which we went over, obviously, down here. You could build one of these structures, so you would have to take one of your workers on your turn. So in this case, Simon's first. He might want to go take his little worker and put it right there. Boom. Because, alright, well, not because, we'll get to that later. I'll go to that now. This has a $1 on it. If Simon is the first one to go here, he gets $1 and does the action. If he's the first one to go here, draw 1 green card. He now is the first one there, so he can now take 2 green cards, etc., etc. Everything has 1 free bonus space of what that is. So, if Simon also ended up wanting to take the second spot after I already went, he would draw another green card, which is fine. I now don't have a space here. This space is for a 3-player game, so I can't go here. So if I wanted to go there, I would have to use my Grande Meeple. So we both have a Grande Meeple that's bigger than the others. So your Grande Meeple at any time can go in without worrying about a space or not. So that's that, my little Grande Meeple. Put him back. So you go here, you draw a card. If I had a bunch of yellow cards in my hand, I can go here to play the yellow card. I can go here, sell at least 1 grape, or buy and sell 1 field. So, selling grapes. So if you need money and you had some grapes sold, if it's a 1, 2, or 3 grape, you can sell it for 1. 4, 5, 6, you can sell it for 2. 7, 8, or 9 grapes, sell for 30. So if you need money, you can go there. Or, how I mentioned before, you could sell these at any time for the 5, 6, or 7 gold. Is by this space. And you also get 1 point for doing it. So you can technically get 1 point and make $7 that turn. If you go here, you can plant one of the green cards that you'll have in your field. That's not a green card, it's the other card. One of your green cards that you have in the field. Or you can go here and just gain $1. Go. All right, that's it. So if you can see, these are so this is anytime you can go here because there's no color here. But if you see here, these are yellow. Like these circles are yellow, these circles are blue. The yellow is springtime. So you do your spring action, or you cannot do your spring action. Like you could say, hey, I want to save all my workers for the winter, which is over here, the winter. So anyway, after the spring, you wake up, you do the position. I'm sorry, spring was the positions. The summer was the yellow. I lied. Summer was yellow. Then at the end of the summer, you say, you know what, I'm done. In the fall, you can draw one visitor card, which is the blue or the yellow. So you could take one of each, whatever, like maybe you already have 3 yellows in your hand from picking these cards. You know what, I'm going to take a blue visitor card this turn. So you take your blue visitor card in the fall, and now the winter, you're over here. You have a bunch of different actions. Alright, so I lied. Worker placement, 2 players. You're only allowed 1 spot. So in a 2-player game, which is what this is, if Simon goes here, he would get the bonus, and then my worker, my Hefe would have to go. Still the same thing. The Hefe, the blue Hefe. The blue Hefe would need to go there to go the turn. Woo. So Simon wouldn't need to put his second one there to block me because it's only 1 in a 2-player game. So anyway, back to the blue. So other things you could do are draw a purple card, which is easy. You just draw a card. Play a blue, which is the same thing as playing a yellow, but just playing a blue. And then here, harvest 1 field. So if you have your 4 grape on here, you have to wait for the winter to actually place your worker on the harvest to get 1 4 grape there. And then once the grape is there, the way to make it into wine, you have to put your worker there. Make up to 2 wine tokens. So if you only have 1, obviously you can only, that was there from a previous example. So if you only have 1 here, which we do, you put it there. Where am I? Alright, so to actually fill the order and make money, you would go here. So if you had what was needed to make this, in this case it's a 4 rosé. So to make a rosé, obviously there's no rosé grape. So you would need to make a, right here, blush and sparkling wine key. A yellow plus a red is rosé. So if I wanted to make a 4, where's the rosé card? The 4 rosé, I would need any combination of a 1 red and a 3 white, or a 3 red and a 1 white, or a 2 red and a 2 white to make the 4. In that case, I would get the rosé, and I would do that on the crushing. Where's the token? I would do that when I crush, or when I make the wine, sorry. So I would put a guy here, and I can make the wine, and I would say, hey, I have a 3 grape here, and a 1 grape there. I'm going to combine them, and make the 4 blush. And then to make a sparkling wine over here, is 2 reds and 1 white. So the same thing with the math. It's got to add up. Oh, didn't want to do that. So to fill the order, and then the last space over here is just to train a new worker. So you only start off with whatever you're given, and oh yeah, alright, so you have more workers off the side. So at most, throughout the game, you can get 3 more workers. And then this is a bonus guy. So if I had started here this year, instead of getting the 1 point, I would have gotten a free extra worker. So I would have had 4 this round, and then when he's over, he says, you know what, I'm going to go take a break. I'm going to come back here. And it doesn't work for you anymore. So that's the board. This is something. The only thing I guess I gotta look up. Oh, I think this is just for... I don't know what this is for. I'll have to figure that out eventually. And that is basically the overview of viticulture.